Hello, it's your boy Davidoff. Welcome back to a movie night. This is the last movie night before I go on holiday. I'm on holiday in a few days' time. I look forward to sharing that with you. I'm going to a couple countries, plus I'm going to an event abroad, which is going to be awesome. And before you ask, no, it's not the wrestling event in Paris. Would have loved to go to that, but it costs a lot of money. And even though Paris is not far away, I am not going to the wrestling event in Paris. So that is one thing I can tell you. But I am going somewhere else. I'm going to a couple countries. And I'm going to an event. You can guess what that event is. I mentioned it before. If you don't remember or haven't seen, that's fine. I prefer to keep it a surprise anyway. But if you can guess, that'd be nice. The event is not too far away. But anyway, I'm going to watch a couple movies today. One is Eddington and one is The Materialists. I'm watching that one first. Not The Materialists, it's just called Materialists. So Dakota Johnson, she plays like a wedding or a relationship planner. She does like a Cupid sort of thing. She matches couples together. This movie is a rom-com, and rom-coms for me have been guilty pleasures sometimes, because I'm not like, there's two categories of film that I don't really watch that much, and that's pure romance and horror. I've opened myself up to those categories a bit more, especially horror in recent years. You know, I've been watching more horror movies. With romance movies, just straight romance I still couldn't watch. It's just not for me. But a rom-com, I've enjoyed it. There's a lot of good rom-coms. There's a lot of good movies. A lot of great movies, actually, rom-coms. And I don't think there's been enough good ones in the past decade or so. There were a lot of good ones that came out in the past. And I've seen quite a few. But they're just not as good nowadays as they used to be. So I hope this one's good. This one's called Materialists. It stars Dakota Johnson. It also stars Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal. How is he in everything? He's a really good actor, but how does he get in every... he's in every role in every genre, I swear. You always see this guy. I know he's a good actor, but the amount of different roles he plays, I swear I've seen him in 3 movies in the past month or something. But anyway, so she is like a wedding planner or like a couples planner. This reminds me of, there's a movie with Jennifer Lopez. I think that was called The Wedding Planner or something. So this reminds me, I watched the trailer and this reminds me of that Jennifer Lopez movie. I enjoyed that movie as well. But Dakota Johnson plays someone who organizes relationships, and she's responsible for, I believe, 9 weddings or whatever. I think that was in the trailer. She's a matchmaker, but she hasn't found love for herself. And she's stuck in this love triangle between her ex, who's not a perfect guy, but she's clearly still got something for him, and this new person she meets who is perfect in every way. She's got to make a choice. It sounds interesting. I hope it's good. It could either be really good or very cringe, one of the two, but I hope it's good. I could watch a rom-com. I like Dakota Johnson anyway. I think she's good, good actress, and big fan of Chris Evans. Pedro Pascal, I liked him in Game of Thrones and Fantastic Four. So the cast is good. So hopefully this movie is good as well. After that, we have got Eddington. So this one stars Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal. I forgot. I knew he was in it, then I forgot he was in it. So I've just surprised myself once again. I didn't know this was coming out until a week or two ago when I saw the trailer in the cinema. I never saw the trailer until now. I didn't know it was coming out. But it's a standoff between a small town sheriff and mayor. And it sparks a war or a conflict in New Mexico. It's to do with elections and stuff like that. It stars Emma Stone as well, Austin Butler. It stars someone else who's recently been accused of a crime, so I'm not going to mention his name. And a few other cast members too. Based on the trailer, it looked interesting. It looked like two people at odds in a political conflict. There's an election going on, and Pedro Pascal is the mayor. Joaquin Phoenix is the sheriff, and there's some trouble being caused. There's riots between public and police, and it's this whole old-fashioned election movie in New Mexico. Yeah, I can't really explain it beyond that. Let me check IMDb and see what the synopsis says over there. IMDb Eddington. I'm typing with one hand. I'm a genius. Oh yes. what does IMDb say? It's in May 2020. When I watched the trailer, it looked like it was from way beyond that. A standoff between a small town sheriff and mayor sparks a powder keg as neighbor is pitted against neighbor in Eddington, New Mexico. So it doesn't tell you much more. You can look it up if you want to know more about it, but it looked interesting from the trailer. And when you got a guy like Joaquin Phoenix in it, you know, you're pretty much guaranteed good acting. So I look forward to watching that. It's pretty much back to back. This first movie's Materialists is at 5:30, and including Adverts should end at 7:50. And 7:50 is when Eddington starts. So I'll be straight into Eddington, and I won't miss anything because I'll be missing just the Adverts. I'll be able to watch the trailers for everything. So everything's all good. So the movie starts in an hour. So I'm going to get ready and we'll head off to Cineworld. We are out here. It's actually 5:41, but that's fine, you know. It's only the first initial Adverts I'll miss. I'll get in and there'll be trailers running. The only issue is, right, the trailers run, then they run a couple Adverts with their partners. Then they say, turn off your phone, which makes sense because the movie's about to start, right? Let's turn off your phone. Pepsi Adverts. They got to advertise their Pepsi partnership. And there's a couple other Adverts as well they put in too. And I'm just like, if you're going to do all this, but don't tell us to turn off our phones and then do it again. Adverts, trailers, Adverts, turn off your phones, more Adverts. No. Show all your Adverts first and then say turn off your phones and then show the movie. It's not that hard, Cineworld. Not that hard. Not just Cineworld either, Orion does it too. Obviously not with Pepsi, it's with other companies, but it's just annoying. If you tell us to turn off our phones, start the film. Don't show more Adverts. How dare you? It's not going to make me drink Pepsi more, mate. Flip's sake. Anyway, let's watch a tour of this.
My party in front of Sean.
Well, that movie was eventful. Before I talk about the movie, right, there was a couple behind me. So like this cinema was fairly, like, it wasn't packed out, but it was a decent turnout. You know, there was at least 25-30 people in there. So I'm just like, okay, crowd is okay. But there was a couple behind me, right? When the movie started, when I say when the movie started, I mean like the opening, like logos and stuff. They were taking pictures of it. They're like flashing light. They with the flash on, they were taking photos of the cinema screen. I'm just like, okay. They stopped when the logo stopped, but I thought that was a bit weird. They made a bit of noise, not too much, and not very often, but a couple times here and there, right? And their phone rang at one point. One of their phones rang, which they stopped within a few seconds. So a few minor disturbances here and there, right? I don't want to sound like a Karen, but what was really weird was what they did at the end of the movie. So you saw me film a bunch of popcorn on the floor, right? All over the floor next to me, in the row behind me, which is the back row, and on my flipping seat, and right in front of my legs. So what happened was, right, the movie ended, and the girl gets up, right? I don't see her get up, but she's obviously gotten up because she's walking out the cinema, right? She's walking around, like when she walks past me, behind me, she throws her popcorn up in the air, like she literally just chucks it. I don't think even in the air. I think she just slammed the popcorn at the wall, on the floor, or whatever. She literally just threw and slammed the popcorn, and it went everywhere. And I only got like a few here and there, so I don't think she was aiming at me. But at first, it felt like she was aiming at me at first, because of the way, like, some of it landed on my head. But most of it was like to my side, like 95% of it. But 5% of it landed in or around me, like next to my seat or on my seat or me. And I'm just like, what just happened? And she just walks off saying nothing. Like, she's not looked back at me. She said nothing to me. Then her boyfriend gets up and walks past me as well. Again, didn't say anything to me. Didn't look at me. They just both walked out casually after she just threw some popcorn. I'm just like, what just happened? Was that thrown at me and she missed? Or was she just slammed on the floor and I was collateral damage? Is she autistic? it could be a number of different things, but I was just really confused by that, like really confused. Some of you watch me in my holiday vlogs and public vlogs, and you know how I act, some of you. I'm a very quiet person. I avoid any confrontation, so I just sat there thinking in my head, what on earth just happened? And I always think positively anyway, so I'm just like, yeah, I don't think they attacked me. I just think they just slammed popcorn down. I feel bad for people that got to clean that, but yeah, it is what it is. The movie itself, Materialists, she is a matchmaker, and the people who she matches people with other people. All her clients are very materialist, which also intertwines with her relationship and her love life, and how her love life is, and how, you know, she's not perfect herself. The start of the film was really funny to me. Not the cave scene. The scene with like cavemen. That's not the funny part. The second scene, right? If you watch the movie, you see why there's cavemen, all right? I don't need to explain that part. But she's trying to matchmake two people, right? And the guy was just like, because they had a date, and the guy was just like, I wanted a woman in her 30s. There's not what I asked for, because like he's got a list requirements, like what he wants in her, and she's got a list requirements in him, and she's got to match them based on the boxes they tick, basically. He was just like, I wanted someone in her 30s, and she's just like, no, yeah, she's 39. Yeah, no, that's 40. I said 30s. And then he said something else that was like even weirder than that, because like in a way that makes sense. Like 39, yeah, okay, you wanted someone younger than that, early 30s. Should have specified that. There was something else he said about her that was a bit weird, and I thought, oh, I feel bad for this woman, because this woman really enjoyed the date. But then she started saying, oh no, I want at least 200k salary a year. I want him to be at least 6 foot tall. She started listing her own requirements. I'm just like, it's so materialist. You want this minimum salary. You want this. Like, how about finding love? And that just sets the tone for the amount of relationships you see in this, where it's just like they like them because of these weird reasons, and it's more to do with these money reasons or making someone jealous or other weird reasons other than, you know, actually like the person. So it's just, yeah. And that also connects to her relationship and her love life. So movie wasn't ready for me, but there were some funny moments. It was funny in terms of how people were reacting towards who they wanted in a partner. It was just like, oh my days. Most of these people that take part in this matchmaking are just so self-centered. It's insane. And it's not even gender specific. It's crazy. But there's one serious thing that happens between two clients. Won't get into it, what exactly happened, but I was just like, damn, this got serious really quick. That's really dark. It got really dark at one point. But yeah, I guess when you match two strangers together, something bad can happen sometimes. You never know who a person is. But let's just say two people go on a date and she matched them together, and one person does something bad to the other person. And yeah, I don't want to say anything more because it's spoilers, but yeah, the movie's okay. I don't think it's really for me. Parts of it were funny, some redeeming qualities. A lot of people did like this movie, I feel, based on reviews that I've seen. I'm giving it a 6. I'm giving it a 6. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. I feel like I expected a little bit more from it, but the acting was fine. Not Oscar-winning acting, but it's some really good acting in there, especially some of the arguments some of the characters have. But overall, I'll give it a 6. All right, let's get into Eddington. Also, it was my 30th birthday this month, of course, and I said it a million times. It's also Cinewell's 25th birthday this month. I don't know what day exactly, but I saw a big 25th happy birthday. I'm just like, oh, that's really cool. That's really awesome. Anyway, let's go into Eddington. It better be extraordinary. We are upstairs in screen 12. Please be good. Please be good. I literally just watched the trailer for the first time last week, and it looked interesting enough, but I'm watching it mainly for Joaquin Phoenix. I hope it's a good film though. It's got good reviews, but will I like it? Materialists has good reviews as well, and I didn't like it that much, so we'll find out.
How was your day?
The neighbour's dog shot in the laundry. The kids have got knit together. My left eye's twitching.
Cinema for the thrill seekers.
Bro, that film was insane. That film was crazy. Joaquin Phoenix was incredible in this. one of his best performances for sure. He was unreal in this. But just thinking about it after I exited the screen, I'm just like, what on earth have I just watched? That was insanity, especially the last half an hour or last 20 minutes, whatever the final sequence was. That was one of the most insane things I've seen. I was on the edge of my seat that entire scene. It was incredible, really well filmed, and yeah, it was just really crazy, man. I also saw, I didn't realize this was it had A24's logo on it. I've seen it. A24 was on both films today, and I also saw them last. I think when I watched Sorry Baby as well, their logos also there. I remember seeing them for the first time like a few years ago, and now they're everywhere. They're making big moves, that studio. But yeah, this is insane. So this is not a true story, but it invokes real life events. This happens during COVID times, so they incorporate that. It feels like they took a lot of Twitter's timeline of 2020, and the movie was inspired kind of by 2020 social media and 2020 in general. So it starts off in a way like about COVID. So there's a lot about COVID in this. So the mayor has rules enforced where you got to wear a mask and, you know, all the stuff during COVID. Joaquin Phoenix, the sheriff, who's asthmatic, doesn't agree with this. He doesn't like how you got to wear a mask, go in a shop, etc. So essentially, he runs for mayor because he doesn't like the policies of the current mayor involving COVID and wearing a mask. This escalates into something further. So they invoke actual events, actual things that happened during COVID in like a fictional, like this movie's still fictional, but it's inspired by actual things that's happened. That is the police. So there's stuff about Black Lives Matter protests, about police brutality, about riots. The riots that happened across America during those George Floyd protests, there was riots in this relating to that. There was stuff about vaccines. There was stuff about racism. A lot of different themes that were brought up in a huge way in 2020 during COVID time. Because COVID time wasn't just about COVID. A lot of things happened during that time. There's stuff about lockdowns and stuff like that. So this movie is those sort of things are happening during this movie. So the sheriff deciding to run for mayor against the current mayor, it's kind of like it starts because of a mask mandate, but escalates into something else. And this movie escalates. It escalates quickly and it escalates massively to something completely different. It starts off as an election thing. It turns into some crazy thing, a violent thing. There are some really funny scenes, especially one where, so there's a Black Lives Matter protest and there's people taking a knee. And there's two people, right? A boy and a girl. So there's this scene with a boy and a girl, both teenagers, I believe. Probably young adults, actually, I think. But I think they're like college kids anyway. So they're at a Black Lives Matter protest and they're taking a knee, right? And they're both white, and there's like important context. I'm not going to explain the entire scene because I feel like it's better if you go and see it, because the context of it, I guess, is kind of spoilers. But she's talking about her whiteness, about her guilt, about stuff like that. She's talking about her whiteness and her privileges, and I can't remember the exact speech anyway. But even if I remember the entire scene, I think it's best not to like provide too much context, because again, you got to watch it for yourself to to understand why the scene was funny. So the boy, because she tells it to this boy, and this boy clearly likes her. So this boy, you know, he buys into her beliefs. I don't know if it's because he likes her, but he definitely, he starts to parrot her beliefs to his parents at a dinner table. It's the exact same thing. So she's saying something to him, and then he says it to his parents. And then the dad looks at him. The dad looks at him and says, "Are you effing retarded? You're white. What are you talking about?" Oh my days. Like, you got to understand. You got to watch the scene to understand. It was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. Just the way it was delivered was funny. There's a scene where someone slaps someone. That was pretty funny, the way it was delivered. But then after this slap happens, something serious happens. Again, I don't want to spoil too much. But that scene about the whiteness and the dinner table, oh my days. It was so funny. There was one guy particularly that burst out laughing. There were maybe 10 people, 15 people in the cinema max, not too many. But a couple people burst out laughing, and I was laughing too. I was just like, oh my days. It's just the delivery of the scene and the timing. Ari Aster is a really good director. The timing of that scene was just bloody crazy. But yeah, this movie is insane. And it needs to be seen to be believed. If I explained this movie to you, you would have been like, what on earth? But it is a movie that I recommend anyone watches. No matter, like, obviously it references actual political events and beliefs, but whatever side of politics you're on, whoever you support or don't like, I think this is a movie that's worth watching. It's just something that needs to be seen, in my opinion. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Joaquin Phoenix performance, one of the best things I've seen all year. Like, he's incredible in this, so there's also that. So yeah, I had a good time with this. Definitely had a better time than Materialist, which I gave a chance to. I don't think it was bad, just wasn't that good. But Eddington, I'm blown away by. I'm definitely blown away by. I'm even considering watching it again. But I'm on holiday very soon, so another time. By the time I fly back, I'll have other movies to watch that are releasing soon, so it is what it is. But yeah, there's your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. I lost my voice. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. And for now, until I come back from being abroad, we are out of here. I look forward to sharing with you. This is like, I had a big July and August, obviously, and it's not quite over yet because I'm going to this holiday and this event. And also, I'm going somewhere tomorrow to an event. So look forward to a big vlog tomorrow. Goodbye.